AI media here, really really driving the market action. You've got the NASDAQ coming off that record high. Nvidia shares up just about 75% so far this year. Our next guest saying that there's more room to run in the AI trade, and he's wildly bullish on semiconductors. Let's bring him in. We have Chris Danely. He's Citi's head of U.S. Semiconductor Research joining us now. And Chris, I think many investors are at home right now asking themselves whether or not we're starting to see a bubble form in the AI trade. What do you think?
Yeah, good question. So I hate admitting it, but I've been covering semis for 30 years. And I would say that the last time we saw a single application drive what we call TAM expansion in semis, it's actually expanding the semiconductor market, was about 25 years ago with the advent of the internet. And I think that's probably the closest thing to what AI has done. Now, the internet eventually led to a bubble as well, but that went on for a good 2 or 3 years. And, semis, I will never go out and say that they are no longer cyclical. So at some point, this party will end, probably in a lot of tears. But for right now, we can't really see the end of it. I think what's going on is that entities, whether it's a government, a university, a business, are buying AI product, whether it's Nvidia or AMD or Micron or Broadcom or what have you, and they've either bought just a little bit of semis before, or they really haven't bought them. And again, we haven't seen this. I hate using superlatives because we get a lot of superlatives thrown around in semis and they don't actually work, but we haven't seen anything like this in probably a quarter century.
Who were the first departures from the AI party if we do see a bubble burst?
That's a good question. So as we've seen, what goes up must come down. And I would say that, in covering semis for 3 decades, when you do have a downturn in any particular end market, witness the downturn we had last year. Now, the stocks inflected the year before, but the downturn we had last year, it impacts everybody. So whenever the party ends, I really would not harbor any illusions about any of these stocks being able to get through it unscathed. But we really don't see any end in sight. So I think we've got a long way to go until we're going to start ringing the alarm bells, or even hearing a tinkling of bells out there in terms of AI.
And Chris, you put it quite simply in your notes, saying that you're widely bullish still on semiconductors. What's your top pick within that sector?
Top pick is Micron. So I think, we've all identified Nvidia as the clear AI leader. I guess in this sort of instantaneous market, they're almost yesterday's news in terms of AI. What we think is going to be the next group of semiconductors or product of semiconductors that's going to have the AI mentioning is going to be memory, and specifically DRAM. So clearly there's a lot of graphics chips going into it. Clearly there's a lot of Ethernet chips that Broadcom makes going into it. By the way, Broadcom announces on Thursday. We think that's the next positive catalyst for the AI market. But you're just starting to see memory come into play as, wow, we need more of this. This is in shortage. And Micron is the top pick on the DRAM space for us.